Okay, I'm back and we have started recording. Um, so this is course 202, as you already know. Uh, um, okay, so for those of you that have been part of this course before now, you know that in fact, whatever you have learned, just keep it aside. It's assumed that we are starting afresh. So because new people have joined us, and some changes have been made to the course content. And as a result of those changes, the language of implementation will now be Java instead of JavaScript that we started with. I have one or two classes on JavaScript, but this time around, from now on, we'll be dealing with Java. So today, we're going to be talking about Java as a programming language. But before that, we'll talk about computers. Let's look at the learning outcome or the objective. What do we intend to achieve today? For us to understand, we want to assume that people in 200 level, some of them don't know what a computer is. So we'll talk about a computer, we'll talk about a program and how a program is executed. And then we'll move straight to Java, the history of Java, the features, and the philosophy of Java. We'll also talk about the Java ecosystem, which is the virtual machine, the runtime environment, and the Java development kit. Then we will try to set up our environment. We'll give you time to set up your environment by downloading and installing the JDK and also your integrated development environment. Then we will run our first program in Java. If we are able to achieve this, we'll be done today. Then learning objective. At the end of, if we achieve those things, what are you now supposed to learn as a student that attended this class? You are supposed to learn the following. One, you should be able to differentiate or describe hardware and software component of a system, of a computer system, explain the compilation and execution process of Java programs or generally programming languages, but we'll focus on Java. Explain what Java is and its key characteristics. One of them is platform independence and object-oriented. We'll get there. So distinguish between JVM, JROE, and JVM, JROE, and JDK. Okay, then successfully install and configure a Java development environment and write your program in an IDE. So understanding the basic component of a computer, as you can see from the screen, we can have a speaker. All these things are embedded in your laptop. If you are using a laptop, you have a keyboard, you have a mouse, or a touchpad. You have a mic, like I'm using a microphone so that you can hear me very well. You have a screen, you have a monitor. All these are parts of the computer. Then you have what we call in this diagram, it is called a computer because that is where the whole thing happens. Some people call it the CPU. Some local people will call that TOA the CPU, that case that is covering the thing, the CPU, but it's not. The CPU is just a very tiny aspect of that thing, even though it is the brain of the computer. So we're going to, most of the things we are going to now explain are to explore these parts that we have called the computer. This particular place, that's what we want to explore now in our next slide. Now, the first thing that is inside that big box is think of brain, know that it's responsible for executing instruction, performing calculation, and managing information flow. So this is an example. This is a picture of a CPU, a typical CPU. So, and current creators of CPU are Intel, um, I think ROMD. I've forgotten their actual name, but Intel is one of the most popular ones. And then we have RAM, which is random access memory. Random access memory is like a temporary place where the computer a working space for the computer. They will also have the hard disk, which is the main storage hard disk, or solid state drive, HDD or SSD. Modern systems are using SSD, while older systems use hard disk. The hard disks are heavier, the SSD are almost like RAMs. So if you have heard of SSD issue, what should come to your mind is a picture like this. It's almost like RAM. If you see how small a 512 SSD is, you'll be surprised. So, and they are measured in gigabytes. So the next thing we are going to talk about is input and output. Input and output devices. If you go back to the computer screen that we had, you will see that when we talk about input, the mouse, the keyboard is an input, the mouse is an input, the microphone is for input, the speaker is an output device, the screen is an output device, or the monitor itself, because the monitor is the one housing the screen, is an output device. So then we talk of the motherboard. So the motherboard is like the human nervous system. It houses everything, where you can plug your mouse, that you plug your mouse and the system is seeing it is because the motherboard is connected to every part of the system. These are RAM slots. These are RAM slots. This is also a RAM slot. Some of them, okay, we have about four RAM slots. All these ones are for other chips or different kind of RAM. You can see where the CPU is. Every system, whether a laptop or a desktop, have the motherboard. Okay. Now we talk about what is a program. Simply put, a program is a set of instructions given to the computer to perform a particular task, following a step-by-step procedure to perform a particular task. So the instructions are written in a programming language. So that's why we have Python, which you learn in your course 201, and then Java that we're going to learn now, and many programming languages, JavaScript, C++, C#, just to mention but a few. That is what a program is in a nutshell. Then how is a program executed, or from code? How do we move from coding to execution? One is to write the code, which is your source code in your development environment, where you are writing the code. Is called a development environment. Then the code you have written is translated or interpreted or compiled. Like later in this course, or with other lectures, teach you about Java compilation system, or they're going to tell you more about compilation. So in most programming language, we have compiler or an interpreter. Put together, the work of a compiler or an interpreter is to translate or convert the source code into a format that the computer can understand. I always tell people, or it is the normal thing, that the computer only understands zeros and ones. So if you
Jesus
if
Christ.
you
And this class is 1:30 to 4 o'clock. Jesus.
please,
Yeah.
that person that is making this noise, if I get you, know that you'll not pass this course. This course is being recorded, and I don't know why some of you just want to start misbehaving. If I say come for physical class, you will not come. We are doing online. If you don't want to be part of the class, you can go out. We are not forcing anybody, please. Now, sorry for that obstruction that came in. So let's go ahead. Now, I'm trying to explain the work of the compiler or interpreter, carrying this close to human written text or code, as we may call it, and making the computer to understand it. Computer that only understands zeros and one, at least the ones we have now, until we come to quantum computing. Is the work of the compiler. And as it stands, the compiler or the interpreter in Java is called the Java Virtual Machine. We'll explain that later. Still on moving from code to execution. Then once that thing is done, it will be loaded into the memory. It will be loaded into the memory because the operating system will load it into the RAM. This bytecode, in the case of Java, it will be carried from the hard disk into the RAM. So if it is carried from the hard disk into the RAM, the CPU can now access the information or the instruction that is in the RAM. So see how the movement is from hard disk to RAM to CPU. From hard disk to RAM to CPU. Because the CPU can only access information that is in the RAM. Then after the CPU fetches this information one by one, depending on the type of CPU, it will decode it and start to perform the instruction that is in it. So when we say that the computer only understands zeros and one, we are majorly talking about just the major thing that understands these zeros and one, where the whole matter settles or the whole matter comes to play, is the CPU. So note that for Java, the virtual machine interpreting the bytecode that it has generated and translating it into a specific machine language for the CPU on the fly. This is the magic. As one of the language you'll be hearing when we talk about history of Java is run once, run anywhere. Write once, run anywhere. Then we talk about the output. After the CPU has interpreted all those things, what we will see is the output, either displayed on our screen or printed on a paper via the printer, or a sound coming from the printer. So what is Java? Any questions so far? If you have a question, we'll take just one question. If you have a question, you can ask.
No question, no question.
Okay, so let's go. What is Java? Java is a high-level object-oriented programming language developed by Gosling and his team at Sun Microsystem. Sun Microsystem is now owned. the initial goal for creating the language is for interactivity in television and other home electronics, but it has quickly become a programming language that everyone wants to associate with because of its philosophy. The Java philosophy is write once, run anywhere. I will explain this further. What write once, as we will see later, what write once mean write once, run anywhere means is no matter the operating system you are using to develop, you are using for your coding. When you are done, you can run the program in any other operating system. In any other operating system of your choice, you can run it there. So this is how the Java, you write the code. When you write the code, you say .java. Then the compiler will change. The compiler is Javac. So when you want to run this code now, you say Javac, the name of the file .java. We'll get to that, and then it will generate a bytecode. That bytecode will now be named .class. So when you write your code as .java, when you run it, it will give you, when you javac it, it will give you a .class file. Then when you now run that .class file, can you guys hear me?
No, sir. No, sir. We can't hear you.
That you were muted before.
Or you can hear me now?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now.
Okay, that's good. So let's continue. So I put together here a brief history of Java. A brief history of Java. There's a company called Sun Microsystem, and a group of engineers there around 1991, led by James Gosling. They decided to do a project, the Tag Green project. They produce they do programs or software for home electronics or consumer electronics like toasters, VCRO, televisions, remote, and all that. So, and they discovered that when you are writing for all these things, because the microprocessors that follow them have different operating system running in them, or they have different microprocessors. That thing was always causing problem for them. So they decided to embark on a journey of developing a programming language that once you code in that programming language, it will be able to run on any microprocessor, on any operating system, on anywhere that you want it to run. And at the end, they came up with a programming language that they called Oak. They used to believe that the story is that is a tree that is facing the window of James Gosling in the office. But that's by the way. So, but as they developed this, that was also the time of the boom of the internet. So they discovered that their philosophy that they have been able to implement will be useful for the internet, and hence they decided to create small, they had to make it to be able to do small application called applets that can run securely on websites without minding the user's operating system. So the next thing that happened was that Sun Microsystem officially renamed Oak to Java in 1995. And then in the 1990s and 2000, it gained popularity because of applets and its ability to do enterprise application, Java. Then in 2006, they made it open source. Briefly, an open source software means anybody can contribute to the software, anybody can use it free of charge without any payment that is needed. They just need to stick to the license agreement. But most times, most open source software, you don't pay, you use them free of charge. But in 2010, Oracle bought over Sun Microsystem, and eventually Java became their own. They tried to force people to, as we will learn later, they tried to force people to agree to license agreement and do some other things, do some 1 or 2 payments. But as a result of that, it led to other distributions of Java being developed that are made open source. Examples we will give as we go ahead. Java has continued to be a programming language to reckon with. So what are the key features of Java? It's object-oriented. This is a fundamental concept in Java. So when you talk about object-oriented, you're going to learn this much later as we go through the course. But it's a programming paradigm that looks at coding from the aspect of object, sees everything in programming as object. And an object simply is a self-contained unit of code and data. And this helps to organize, this helps your program to create aspects that are reusable. You learn more about object-oriented programming. And then the one we have been talking about since is platform independent. Platform independent. You run once, run anywhere. This is one of, in fact, the most famous thing that Java has. Then Java is simple when compared to programming languages like C and C++. Please, I'm not saying Java is simple in the sense that it is simple. It is simple when compared to C and C++. So for those of you that have touched C++, so Java is secure. Java is secure. It's a secure language. Java is robust, multi-threaded. It is a high performance language, and it is a distributed language. So let's look briefly at the Java ecosystem. The Java ecosystem, we're talking about, for us to understand how Java works, we need to look at the role of 3 crucial components. One of those components is the Java Virtual Machine, JVM. Think of Java Virtual Machine as the engine. Then we have Java Runtime Environment. Think of that as, okay, Java Virtual Machine, JVM, is the engine. JVM is the engine of the car. JARO is the car. Java Runtime Environment is the car. Then Java Development Kit is the entire garage, the car and everything in a garage where it is parked, all the tools that you need to tighten it, to remove it, to do anything. So with that analogy in mind, let's look a bit deeper. So what is the JVM? Why do we call it the engine? It is the one that interprets the bytecode. It is platform specific. This is what gives it the ability to be platform independent, because it is in OS, it is in Mac OS, it is Windows. It is different from all these operating system. So being that it is can be installed in all these operating system, each time it sees a Java bytecode, it's able to interpret it to the operating system. It also handles memory management. Later, you will learn about Java garbage, Java memory management, especially garbage collection. Then we talk about the Java runtime environment, which is the CAR. So the Java runtime environment is a combination of JVM plus the library plus Java core libraries. As we go on, you are going to see libraries like .lang, java.lang, java.ut, java.io, etc. So all those things are, when you combine them together with the JVM, they now give you what we call the Java runtime environment. But it doesn't include any development tools or the debugger. Now, the Java development kit is the whole garage. It contains the JVM, contains the core library, plus a lot of development tools. Example of those development tools, one is the Javac, which is the compiler that understand the .java code and turn them to class, to .class, which are the bytecode. And then we have the Java, which launches the JVM and runs Java application. These are tools in the JDK. So we have Java, we have JADOC, the Java documentation generator. This one is used for to create API documentation from source code comments. We'll get to that as we go through this course. Then we also have the Java debugger, which is the JDB. For the fact that we are still learning, we are going to make use of
my this thing because it is attendance. Check.
we are going to install the JDK.
No.
Huh?
No. You don't call before. What I want to ask.
Okay, I want to remove some people that are making noise in this thing so that we can continue. Okay, so let's continue. Now, we say we are going to install, we are going to make, because we are learners, we are beginner learners, we are going to use the JDK for now, which is a combination of all these guys. So how do you get the JDK? We move to setting up your Java environment. There are several distributions, like I said before, as a result of what Oracle did. So you can choose from any of the distribution. It's better you use the latest version of Java, but that is stated long-term support. Please choose a long-term support version. Choose a long-term support version. LTS. So how do you do that is the next thing we're going to do. So we're going to try to show you the two options you can work with. One, the first option is to go to this website here. The first option is to go to oracle.com. You go to Java. So if you go there, you will see something like this, and you click on, if it's not already highlighted, you go to Java downloads, not Java archives. So if you go to Java downloads, are there people that are following, you want to download so that we'll wait for you? Are there people that are following this, you want to download as the lecture is going on? Okay. No,
Sir,
no
please.
answer.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
To avoid taking much of your time, when you share the material with us, we can follow with downloading the app.
I don't
Thank you,
usually
sir.
share my material. Okay, but we know what to do. No wahala. No wahala.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so you do this, you go to this website and choose the download option. Then from that download option, the next thing you're going to see is you look for the latest version of the LTS, the long-term support, and then go for the Java Standard Edition. Then you will see JDK. There's JDK 24, there's JDK 21. For some of the examples in my section of the code, I made use of JDK 21. And I am using Windows, so I'm going to choose the Windows option, and then I'll choose this installer. So you can see where the arrows are pointing. If your system is Mac OS, please choose Mac. If your system is Linux, please choose Linux. Then what I mean by choosing means you come to click on this and it is downloaded into your system. So if it is downloaded into your system, you look for the installer. Most times it will pick the architecture of your operating system. Mine is x64, so it will pick x64, and then you will see it most times, except you have changed your download folder, it will be downloaded inside your folder, inside your download folder in Windows. So if it's for Mac, the instruction for how to look for it in Mac is also here. Then for Linux, the instruction of how to look for it is also here. So if you are downloading, since we are talking about this is from Oracle, if you are downloading and using the Oracle own, they may ask you to sign a license agreement, which is one of the drawbacks why we are going to talk about the other one. They may also ask you to create an account with Oracle. But the last time I downloaded those information, they didn't ask me for those things. But in case they ask you and you're downloading, all you need to do is just to create that free account and to sign the license agreement before using it. Now, if it's for Windows, you double click. After locating the file, you double click. For Mac OS, you also double click. But for Linux, you open your terminal and type this code, the name of the downloaded file .db, the name of the downloaded file .arrow, arrow pm. Okay, so if you are doing the installation, this is what you're going to see. This is the first stage. To ask you to click next, you click next. It will also, you can decide to change this, but I will advise you, because you're just learning, I will advise that you leave it and as it is, and you click, leave here as it is. Don't change it until you have mastered it and you need to change it. But most times you just pick where it is going to install. Then the next thing is you click next. So when you click next, you're going to see a lot of things. This is the one I was able to capture. You see the ones that are saying copying file and all that, you see them. Then at the end of when this green line gets to this point and it finishes everything, you will now see this screen showing you that it has finished. All you need to do is to click on close. So that is if you are downloading from Oracle. But what if you are downloading from the OpenJDK, which is the second option of downloading the JDK, the Java Development Environment, to avoid all those signing of license, all those agreeing to any agreement. This one is open source. So what do? You go to adoptteam.net. When you go there, you locate the download section and all that. Sometimes the website is built in such a way that it will just detect your operating system, detect everything you're working with, and show you the option, the best option to download. As you can see from this picture here, it will just show you, like the last time I checked it, that's where I picked this picture, to just tell you download Temurin 21 for Windows X64, and it will show you the button. All you need to do is to click on this button and it will be downloaded. So when you download it, you go to your download folder for Windows, you will see it there, and you just double click. When you double click, it will install and follow the same process. So when it is installing, this is what you see. It will start like this. Welcome to the Eclipse Temurin JDK with hotspots, blah, 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 give you all those names set up. Then you click next. After that, it will give you the license agreement. You can see that the license agreement, you cannot avoid it, but this one is open source. So they are not restricting you. They are not telling you that you cannot use it for anything. You can see it is public, general public license. It's intended to guarantee your freedom. So this is what people suspect, or what Oracle didn't give to people at the initial time they bought it, that cost this other distribution. It's a free software. So you click next. When you click next, the next thing is you choose whether you want to install for yourself. You can see my name here. I chose this one to install for myself, or you install for everybody that are using your machine. Make sure it is added to path and all that, everything that is here. Then the next thing is, can you people hear me?
Yes,
Loud
sir.
and clear, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Because somebody said he can't hear me. That's why I asked that question. So the next thing is you click next.
Thank you.
So from this next, it will take you to this one. So then you say ready to install. You now click install. Then after the installation, after everything here, the next screen you are going to see is this finish screen. Now, whether you use from the Oracle or you used from the OpenJDK that I just described now, you need to test whether it is working. So for Windows, you just type CMD. If it opens, you type Java space. There's a space here. Java, one space, then hyphen, then version. So whether it is Windows, if you are using Windows, you type CMD in your search bar. If you are using Mac or Linux, you just look for your terminal. So once they open, you type Java. If what you are doing is successful, these are the sample that you are going to see. If it's the Oracle JDK, you see something like this. If it's the Open JDK from Eclipse Temurin, that's the website Adopt Team, you will see something like this. So once you see that, you know that your installation is now successful. So the next thing, apart from that installation, is to choose your development environment. Now, for now, you can use, note that you can use a simple editor like Notepad, When I started learning Java, what I was using was Notepad. Then I moved to Notepad++. Then I moved to VS Code. Then I moved to IntelliJ or Eclipse. So that is the process. Anywhere you want to use is okay. In fact, some people believe that if you want to learn Java, if you want to learn coding, start with those operating system, those IDEs or those text editor that will not generate things for you. Why others believe that you should use the ones that will generate things for you so that you know what is supposed to be where it is. So whichever one, we got you covered in this course. So we are going to be looking at the two most popular options, and also which is IntelliJ and Eclipse, as much as we can. And also the code we will write will also show you how to use them in a simple text editor. We'll do more of this writing that you will see in our next class. So the first option is which we are going to recommend for you people is IntelliJ. It's created by JetBrains. JetBrains do it in such a way that for us in Futo, if you have a Futo email, I can teach you how to get a full version of this IntelliJ. But if you don't if you don't have a Futo email, because we have the free license for Futo, which we got in software engineering department. But if you don't have it, they also have a free version for community. They call it community edition. So when you go to their website, jetbrains.com, when you go to their website, you can download the free version and use. So this is the website here, jetbrains.com, ID download. So you see Ultimate. The Ultimate is paid, full featured. We have this one. You can have access to this one if you have a Futo email, even as a student. But the community one is free and open source. Everybody can access that one. So there are some things you cannot do here, but for the purpose of this course, you can do everything that we're going to teach in this course from the community edition. So when you download the IntelliJ, double click for Windows, drag for Mac OS, this is the instruction that you follow. Drag the IntelliJ application into your application folder. If you have used Mac before, you know that is the way you install application. If it's Linux, extract it
I can't see your screen.
and run the ID script from bin directory. So you can launch IntelliJ after the installation. Select when you are launching it, select do not import settings if it's your first time.
We can't see your screen, sir.
Okay. Okay, so what will happen, I'm going to stop sharing and share it again, unless you can see it now. Can you see it now?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we cannot see.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can't see the screen.
I don't start.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So where did you stop seeing it?
Where you
And
see
the IntelliJ, when you started talking about the IntelliJ stuff, before you started talking about that.
Okay. So I'm going to go back. This is what I said. Is it here?
No, sir.
Where did you stop seeing the screen? That's what I want to confirm. Here? Because this is where I started talking
Oh,
about IntelliJ. This is where I started.
Okay.
So the place you talking about the notepad where you see no.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah, the
saying
part,
choosing a place where you're going to write the code. You can use Notepad, a text editor, as you can see here, or you can use the more advanced one like Atom, Sublime, in VS Code, and all that. And then you can graduate. Some people believe that you should start with those lower ones before you do the bigger ones of IntelliJ and Eclipse. While others believe that you should just go straight and start with IntelliJ, which is the IDE. So that's the thing I said. Thank you for calling my attention to the screen that got lost. So, and I said that you can download the IntelliJ from their community edition. You can download the community edition since most of you don't have our institution email address. Because if you have the institution email address, you can get this ultimate version. Because if you open this website, here, what you are going to see, you will see ultimate, you will see community. So you can download the community. And I said that everything we are doing in this course, you can get it from the community. If you want to move advanced or you want to create apps, applications that you are going to sell, you will need to pay so that you would not be violating the license agreement. So that is that. And then the next thing I said, how you install it. After downloading for Windows, it will come as a .exe file. You double click and install and just follow all the process for installation. You know, the advice is that when you are installing an application for the first time, just follow the default if you have not used it before. The default means whatever is shown you there, just be clicking next and go until you finish it, except you are now a professional and you want to use it properly. And I said for Mac OS, if you have installed an application in Mac OS, you know that it's simply downloading it and then copying it and putting it in applications, the applications folder. That means you have installed it in Mac OS. Then for Linux, you have to extract it and run it as IDE.sh script from the bin directory. Then whichever operating system you are using, when you want to launch this application for the first time, you might be prompted to import settings from a previous installation, as some applications will do. You just say do not import, because this is your first time. Do not import. Accept the terms and conditions, and you will see your welcome screen. Then the second option of IDE we have is the Eclipse. Eclipse is also a very popular choice, powerful for Java development. It is free and it is open source. So why IntelliJ have a free for community, Eclipse is generally free. You don't need to pay anything. You don't need to sign any license agreement. So most people go for this one because it is free and open source. So as a result of that, for most people go there, you can download Eclipse from here. You can download Eclipse from here. You go to download packages, you click on Eclipse IDE for Java developers, and then you select the operating system that you have, and then you download. So usually for Windows, you just double click. For Mac OS, drag to the application folder and you do the same. The instruction is virtually the same. You'll be asked to choose a workplace. This is where your Java project will be stored. So try to choose a folder. Maybe before now you would have created a folder where you'll be storing all your Java applications, maybe in your document if you are using Windows, or anywhere else within your program if you are within your computer if you are using any other operating system. So you choose a location accept the default, and then you click launch. So for the rest of the instructions that we're going to give, you can use whether you want to use an ID. In fact, to test our code, we'll do two of them. We'll use one ID, and then we'll use the text editor. So this is a sample Java program. This is a comment. Which we are going to talk about in our second lecture. This is a Java comment, a single line comment. This is the name of the class. This is an identifier public, and then class, name of the class, identifier public static. And this is where, this is one of the things that Java, let's explain it but this is a sample of a Java program. A basic Java program is always like this. Okay, so those are the things I was trying to explain. Class. In Java, all code resides within classes. Think of a class as a blueprint or a template for creating objects. Then the hello world is the name of the class. It is a convention in Java to start names with an uppercase. Start class name with an uppercase, or use a camel case. We'll discuss some of all these things later. Then the public is an access modifier, meaning that the class can be accessed anywhere. We'll also learn about this more later. Inside these curly braces, from beginning to the end, are describing the class body. Whatever is inside these curly braces is for the class. So also, we'll continue explaining that code that we have seen. Then we have the public, static, void, main, string arts. Then also inside it, there is another. So this is the main method, the entry point of every standalone Java application. When you run a Java application, the JVM looks for this specific method and starts execution from there. So the engine, remember the JVM is the engine, looks for this specific place and start execution from there. In this place, we also have access modifier. Static is a keyword that means that the method belongs to hello world class itself, rather than an instance or that's object of the class. You don't need to create an object of hello world to call main. Okay. Then another thing is, you also see there is void. Void indicates that this method does not return any value. Main, the name of the method, it must be main for the JVM to recognize. So if there's any place in Java application that doesn't change, is this place. It must always remain like this if you want the JVM to recognize it. These are the command line arguments that can be in the program when it's run. String indicates an array of string objects and all that. Then, like I said before, everything inside these curly braces are part of this Java method. Now, the last but not the least you're going to see is system.out.println. System.out.println. System, you see system, you see out, you see println, and then you see last part of it after the hello world, you see a semicolon. All these things are important in Java. System is a built-in Java class that provides access to system resources. Out, a static member of the system class, which is an object of type print stream. It represents a standard output stream, usually your console. By console, we are talking about command line, talking about your command prompt and all that. So print screen Print line is a method of the print stream object that prints a line of text to the console. Then the hello world is the string literal, is the thing that you actually want it to print. Is the thing that you actually want it to print. Then the semicolon, every statement in Java must end with a semicolon. Please take note of this. Sometimes for beginner programmers, this is one of the problems you encounter when you are coding. So executing from the command line. For us to execute from the command line, we need a text editor. Notepad, TextEdit for Mac OS, Sublime Text, VS Code, and any other Atom, any other just simple text editor, you know. All you need to do is just copy this code and paste inside it the same code we have explained. Paste give it this name and put it as .java. Give it this name and put it as, give it this name. It must bear this name. So it's going to be hello world.java. When you finish, I know where you have saved it in your system. All you need to do is navigate to that place. Like I said, save it with java.extension. So it's going to be hello world.java. Then you navigate to the place in your system and you please make sure that it's not saved as .txt. I need to mention this so that it will not be something like java.txt. It should just be hello world. That's the name of the class. The name of, which is this class, .java, which is this one, .java. When you finish saving it, then open your command prompt. Maybe the name of the folder. Remember, we said that you should choose a place where you're going to store your Java codes. So the name of the folder, we're assuming that you have used Java programs. And then you just navigate to that place by using CD or change directory, or you go to the folder. When you click on it, at the top of the address of the folder, you click when it opens the program for java.java, and it will compile the program for you. So when it compiles, what you are going to see in that folder is not only hello world.java, you're going to see hello world.class. You're going to see hello world.class. Then, because it is going to now have a .class environment. So you see 2 files instead of 1. Then after that, you now type Java hello world, and then you will see the output. So if you have come to this point, it means that your program is running very well. Don't worry, we'll demonstrate all these things that we've just talked about. Then the next one is when you are using an IDE. Assuming you installed IntelliJ and then or Eclipse. So, but for this example, I'm going to use IntelliJ. You launch your IntelliJ, you see the welcome screen. It will tell you to, when you see your welcome screen, it will tell you to create new project. Or click on create new project, assuming you have other project. Then when you click on create new project, to ask you the name, you give you space to add the name of the project. You can say my first Java project. It will also give you an opportunity to choose location, which is that Java project or Java programs that you have written before. Then it also asks you to select a language, you select Java. It also asks you to select build system, you select IntelliJ if it's not already selected. Then it also asks you to select the JDK version, assuming you have more than 2 JDK, more than 2 different JDK. So for this course and for my sections, we'll be using the JDK 21. So you click on JDK 21, and then you will see a box that will tell you to generate sample code. So if that box asks you to generate sample code, if you click, you can decide to click check. You can decide to check it or not check it. So when you see it, I don't usually encourage people to check it, but we're going to test all these options. When you check it, you click create. So now, assuming you checked that thing, IntelliJ will open, and when it opens, and you will see something like this: public main, which is also the sample code that we have shown to you people already. So the next thing is to change the name of the class. If you see from here, it is main. You can change it. You can change this to hello world. If you change it, it will ask you to refactor. It will ask you to refactor. When you click on, when you try to change it, you agree to refactor. If it doesn't ask you to change anything, also change here to change this hello world, just so that you can, here it's showing hello and welcome. If you don't change it, it doesn't do anything. But we just want to change here also. This one matters a lot. If you are leaving it at main, good. But for our example, to correlate to the example that we have used in where we are using the text editor, we change here to hello world. We change here to hello welcome or hello world, as we are seeing here. So when you do that, when you do that, I will talk about how to run it. So let's look at another option. So assuming you didn't check that box that says add sample code, assuming you didn't check this box. Now, what will happen is that you're going to see an empty page, and then by the left side, you look at the project 2 window, you select new, you select Java class, and then you enter hello world as the name of the class. And then IntelliJ will create hello world.java for you. And then you can add the main class and the print line. And when you do that, you will still have something like this. Then when you are done with that, you look for a button in IntelliJ that is called play. The name of the button is play, or that, okay, the green button that usually show is a green button. So you click on it, is run. Then when you click on the run button, it will show for you at the terminal that follows IntelliJ. You see it as hello world. So alternatively, you can click on run hello world instead of just clicking only on run. Then it will be successful. Okay. Do we have any question? Do we have any question? Now,
Yes, no, sir. Good day, sir.
yes.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Who else is trying?
No, sir.
Somebody is raising his hand. We are done with this first stage. So what I want to do is to do one simple practical of everything we have done, then we end the class. If there's no question, we'll go straight to that. So I'm moving to that now. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to use a simple, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to my documents. Oh, you are not seeing my screen, right? So let me share
No,
again.
sir. No, sir.
Let me share again. Screen. So so this is my screen. I'm going to create a folder. This is what I've been explaining since. So I'm going to create a folder and name it okay. I think sharing screen is not allowing me to do that from here. So let me create the folder so that we'll see it. Let me just create the folder in my desktop. Let me see. Okay. I have the folder here. So I'm going to call it Java programs. How people are seeing what I'm doing. So in my desktop, I have Java. In my desktop, I have Java programs, right? So I'll double click on it. I'll double click on it and okay. Let's use a simple this thing that everybody will have. I'll open. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to open Notepad. Then I'll click on New. I'll now copy. Just so that I'll be fast. I'll copy the Java code.
So we are not seeing what you're doing.
You are not seeing my screen.
Yeah, what you are seeing something else. We are not seeing the notepad. Since I've been seeing, yeah, you are seeing it, man.
Okay. Let me stop sharing and share again. So, are you seeing the notepad now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, you see why some people don't like notepad. This thing is going to discourage many people. So let me see if I can do it in Notepad++. Okay. So fast. Okay. So this is Notepad++. I want to open a new window. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. After opening the new window, I'm going to open my folder. You know, the folder I created is in, or let me see if I can still create the folder, if it will allow me this time around to create the folder in documents. Okay. I don't like putting things in my desktop like that. So I've created the folder. So I'm going to select it and open it. So my folder is now open in VS Code. So the next thing, I'm going to create a file. I'm going to create a file. Okay. I'll rather use here this option here. I'll create a file, call it hello. Hello world .java. I'll press enter. So I'll just paste our Java code here. You can see that this one makes it a bit colorful, Abi. So, but for you to use VS Code, you need to install the Java. So what we said is that this place must be hello world, the same name as the name of the class. So I will just make here hello world. Okay. So if I have done this, I'll just, my VS Code is meant to auto save. So I'll just save it again by pressing Ctrl S. Now, there is no Java extension here. We can come here and you can see what it is showing me on my screen. Say I should install Java language extension. We can decide to go through that route now and click on extensions and install it. But as that is loading, we can run this without necessarily. Okay, so let's just look for Java extension. For those of you, I'm going through all this route for those of you that would prefer to use the Java extension. Now let's look at the first one. It's a extension pack for Java. Extension pack for Java. And this one is from Microsoft.
Yeah, I'm good.
There's another one, Java Platform extension for Visual Studio Code from Oracle. Whenever I'm using VS Code, I like taking things from Microsoft. So I'll just click on this. But while that is installing, we can test our program. So how did I say we test it? You go to your command line if you're on Windows, or your terminal if you are on if you are on, I'll just minimize this while we're waiting for it to load. Okay. Okay, so if I go to my Java files, this one is the one for desktop. Let me go for the one for documents. So all I need to do please look. You can see the file that is showing here now. can see a file that is showing here, hello world, source, Java source file. So as this place is showing blue, for those of you that are using Windows, I will just type CMD and press enter. It will now load my command prompt. If it loads my command prompt, the next thing I'm going to do is javac hello world if nothing is wrong with the program, it will compile successfully. And when it compiles successfully, are you seeing it here now? Hello, I want to be sure that you guys are hearing me and seeing what I'm doing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are hearing
You can see that the initial file we have is hello world. Now, because the program has compiled as a result of javac hello world.java, we now have hello world.class. So the next thing I'm going to do is java space hello world. This time around, I'm not going to add .java because it's now going to be looking for this one. So I'll now press enter. So if I press enter, it will display hello world, which means we have successfully written our first program in using a text editor and doing it at the console level using the command line. Thank you very much. So let's see whether the VS Code, for those that are still waiting for the VS Code on to happen, let's see whether the VS Code pack has been installed. So it has been installed successfully. Whenever you install a pack and it's showing like this, it has been installed successfully. So we'll go back and now, okay, what we have done, the javac we did there has already worked here. If not, let's also assume that this file has not been created. So I'm going to delete it. Let's see how we can create it from VS Code here. So I'll go to here. I'll go to here. Your own might be displaying, maybe because I'm presenting. That's why these things are not showing. So I'll click on new terminal. So if I click on new terminal, I'm going to see PowerShell. I'm going to see a lot of things. I will just prefer to click here and click command prompt. So when I click command prompt, it shows the same thing that you saw here. Is that okay? The same thing that you saw there. So I'll also do javac space hello world .java and press enter. Now the file is going to, if it compiles, you are not going to see that hello world.class here. Yeah, hello world.class. Then the next thing is Java hello world. And I'll press enter. Okay, so there's an error here. Let's test ourselves. What is causing this error? It's good
error.
that
Typographical error.
where is the
2W.
typographical errors? Point it out for us.
At 2W, after hello, you put small letter W.
That's very good. So let's type it again, Java. And he's saying that, see the error, see what the error is displaying. He said, the error is displaying error, could not find or load main class hello world because of this that is here, this small one here. So space hello world. Okay, so press enter again. Wow. So we now have it here, hello world, which is the same thing that we have there. So if there is no other question, we call it a day. So I'm going to stop sharing, except there's another thing you want me to explain to you, but this is where our class is going to end today. When we come next time, I will try as much as I can to share this video with you. But when we come next time, we are going to continue from here. So our next classes are going to be practical based. We'll just explain a concept and we go straight to the practical and we hit the ground running. Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, the PDF for this video. Hello, sir.
Please go.
The PDF guy. I will invest
Okay.
with guy. Sir, the PDF, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir? Hello?
But if I fuck up full time, nah. You just fuck up.
Yeah.
There's this babe I'm looking for in this place. There's this babe that I'm looking for.
Babe, inside your like.
Bro, shut the fuck up, Alex.
There's this babe I'm looking for. If your name is Karen, please can you identify?
Ignoring me? Can do. Feel sorry about that. I see. Virtual message.
Smoky jail. He said he'd use it to keep Poof away from the king. If it's covering the entire third floor of the tower, then the king and Pito aren't there. So where are they?